Morning, everyone. Virgo here. I just wanted to let everybody know that Virgo Unfiltered Radio Show YouTube channel is now up, and the first episode of Virgo Unfiltered is available. I wanted to let you guys know that the link is in the description, so please click on it and subscribe and hit the little bell so that way you'll get notifications when a new show and episode shows up on the YouTube channel. I'm going to be keeping this channel up, regardless of those of you that would like to come over and watch it when Blog Talk Radio is up and live call-ins are available. The reason why is because not everybody will be able to actually attend the show, chances are, and this gives you an opportunity to see it after the fact. So please, if you have the opportunity and you would like to hear more from Virgo, please click the link underneath this description and then hit subscribe and the little bell, and you'll be notified every time a new show is uploaded. Thanks.
What would it take to build a wall on the border between the United States and Mexico? You're talking about an area 1,954 miles, stretching across California, Arizona, New Mexico, and right here in Texas, just about 100 yards away from Mexico. We spoke to civil engineers, architects, and academics. They all say the wall can be built. It can be done. The question is, how? The first thing one has to do is before you go up, you have to go down and build a foundation. This will help provide support for the wall. In order to prevent people from tunneling underneath it, it should be at least 5 feet deep. The second thing one must consider is, what do you use to build the wall? What materials do you go after? Well, how about cinder block? The upside is it's strong, it's secure, it's readily available. The downside is it's labor intensive to have to stack every single brick in order to build the wall. So our experts say that option doesn't work. There is another option, using poured concrete on site. That's what they did when they built the Hoover Dam. The downside to that is when you pour concrete in warmer climates, like along many of these border states, experts say what you could end up with is a weaker wall because the concrete might not dry correctly, meaning a wall that could end up crumbling. So what could be the answer here? The experts that we spoke to say the way to go is pre-casted cement wall panels. Those panels would be lined side by side, sort of like what you might see on a highway. Each panel would be about 20 feet high, again 5 feet below ground, about 10 feet wide and 8 inches thick. Again, that wall would be stretching some 2,000 miles, and our expert says it would require 339 million cubic feet of concrete. And that's just for the panels. You're also going to need reinforced steel, at least 5 billion pounds. So what about the estimated cost? Because it hasn't been done before, let's use those highway panels as an example. They cost about $40 a square foot. That would end up costing about $10.5 billion. Good
morning, everyone. Virgo Triad here. It is May 28th, 2019, and I hope everybody had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. So the video that you guys just saw was some information that had been gathered with regards to architects and academics that decided to take a look at what it would take in order to build a border wall that would withstand the test of time, which of course is important. We don't want to be able to look back and say, oh, we should have done it this way when you've spent millions and millions of dollars of taxpayers' money. Okay, so here's an update. You might remember last week on Thursday, I put up a video with regards to the gentleman named Brian Kolfage, who put together the GoFundMe campaign for the Build the Wall. Originally, Build the Wall was about gathering together taxpayers that wanted to see the wall built on the southern border and who originally were told that the money was going to be going to the federal government in order for Trump to go ahead and build his border wall due to the problems that he was having getting this passed through Congress. Unfortunately, not enough research had been done with regards to that, and it turned out that you cannot force the federal government to take your funds in order to build a project that you determine needs to be built. There are steps that have to happen, and it has to have congressional approval. So as a result, the GoFundMe then had an opt-out where you could pull your money back out as long as you did it within a certain amount of time. Most people, 93% of people, and that is Brian's own estimate, kept their money in and decided that they were going to allow Brian to open a 501c4 corporation. The 501c4 and the 501c3 are different. Here is the main difference. A 501c4 is a charitable foundation that you give funds to, but you're not able to use it as a write-off. A 501c3 is a charity that you can give funds to that you are able to take a tax write-off on. Most people, 93% of people, left their funds in the GoFundMe account. And Brian got Steve Bannon and a couple of other individuals involved in the corporation and apparently started looking at where he was going to place the funds in that would best deliver the beginning of a border wall so that they could build the entire wall on the southern border, since it seemed like Trump administration was having a lot of problems with it. This is something that he promised the people that donated over $22 million. It appears as though over the weekend, sometime between Friday morning and Monday morning, Memorial Day, yesterday, they put up a half a mile of border wall. They're claiming that another half of mile will be put up by tomorrow morning. We will wait and see whether that is the case. Here's a picture that's been provided by Brian Kolfage's foundation called Build the Wall. And you can see here that we're looking at what appears to be steel slats and the construction of those. Now, one of the things that's important about the actual video that you just saw was the amount of space or the amount of wall that would actually be needed in terms of miles. So they built a half a mile over the weekend, claimed that they will build the full mile by tomorrow morning. So that gives you another mile towards the 1,996 miles that would be needed. Now, if you subtract the 55 miles that are already there that were put up by previous administration and this mile, you can subtract 56 total miles from that equation. By the time that you're actually done, what you end up with is needing another approximately 1,940 miles of border wall in order to complete this. The reason that I'm stating this is because you have to look at what we're talking about in terms of cost. And here's the reason I say that. This particular private group has stated openly to several news sources that it cost them between $6 and $8 million in order to build this specific half a mile. Okay, that half a mile will go in the middle, $7 million. If you were to add up what was going to be necessary, that puts us at $26,600,000,000 in order to build the entire wall, which is a lot more than building the wall that we were talking about that they're talking about in the video that you guys just watched, where they estimated 10 billion, 26,600,000,040 to be exact is what it would take. Now, interestingly enough, this actual wall doesn't look anything like, or this slatting doesn't look anything like what the video was talking about. So I'm a little bit concerned with regards to that. It almost appears to me that this went up because there were so many people that were starting to raise Cain because so many actual dates that had been promised got skipped. That was the reason why I was concerned and decided that I wanted to go ahead and put up a video warning people of a potential online scam. In addition to that, we have anywhere between 15 and 18 other websites that are verified and sourced websites that have stated concern in addition. So I want to talk to you guys about this for a few minutes because I got some pretty nasty emails and comments over the weekend. Somehow my reporting on this last week and me stating my opinion makes me some kind of an evil entity, apparently. No. The point is that the Virgo Triad channel points out when you guys need to watch something that could potentially be a scam. I'm doing my job as long as I'm notifying people that, hey, There's something fishy that's going on here. There's promises that are not being kept here. And everybody who has donated to this specific entity needs to watch very closely and keep their eye beams on. That is my job. Now, just because my opinion may not be right does not mean that I am not being honest, because that's something you will always get from me. The minute that I saw that there was a half a mile of actual raised fencing that went up, I immediately made this video so that you guys could see what the progress had been. However, I'm going to give you my opinion in addition, because I've been dealing with scams now for quite some time, as you guys know, and in the past, I haven't been wrong so far. My concern here is that if we're talking about slats, as we are here, that are 18 feet wide versus concrete wall that's 8 inches or 8 feet thick and 20 feet high, and we're talking about over double the cost to the taxpayers as the one that we know would stand the test of time according to the architects, would be, you know, let's see, we've got that one, which is $10 billion estimated for the entire length of the border wall. And we have this, which has been said by Brian Colfage's group themselves, is costing approximately $7 million for just a half of a mile. 26,600,000,040 is a big difference from 10 billion. That's over double. Another concern that I have is that one of the groups that works, the architects that actually work with the Border Patrol, stated that where this was built, which is on private property, because of course they can't use federal land, that's already been ruled on, and they have to get permission from the property owners in order to build on. This was built apparently in very rocky terrain. Now, the architects had claimed that it won't last because of building it in that rocky terrain. That's a concern, because obviously you don't want to build something and then have it fall apart 6 months later. We're going to have to take a wait and see on this, guys, because, you know, there's some other things that are concerning. For example, the fact that half a mile was built is showing up to be something that has made the fundraiser go absolutely insane. Last week, we had 22,100,000 that was actually in the GoFundMe. It has gone up and is going up hourly, almost $500,000 more just since this announcement came out yesterday morning. So build a little bit of wall, get a lot more in donations. It may be a positive thing for the people that are donating to this, and it also could be something else. Now, I'm not going to go too much further into this. I'm going to reserve, and I'm going to sit back, and I'm going to watch. But when you're looking at something like this, you have to take into consideration that there are a lot of factors here. We're dealing with the fact that there is a lot of research that's been done on the party that actually put this GoFundMe up that doesn't look real good from the past. Now, people can change, and I'm certainly going to say that it's great that they finally broke ground after they had missed so many deadlines in the past for their donors that they had promised. But we are only talking about a small section. And we're also talking about the potential of this particular wall maybe not being exactly what it needs to be in order for it to be able to withstand the test of time. I just hope that the people that are involved in this are looking at everything that's involved and not just the fact that, you know, hey, they put up a half a mile of wall, which means they're doing what they said, so I'm going to put in a slew more money. I think it's important that people sit back and pay attention. Pay attention to everything, not just what furthers their narrative. The Virgo Triad channel will continue no matter what to follow this story. And whether my personal opinion is right or wrong, and I have no problem being wrong, I simply will admit it. But time will tell. And all I am notifying people of doing ever when I warn you of something is to do your own research and be cautious. There's a ton of scams out there. And when someone actually has a history of having scammed others and it's being brought out by not just one, but several parties, that should make red flags go up even more. This channel isn't about bashing people or bullying others. This channel is about notifying the online communities of things that they need to pay special attention to and things that are absolutely 100% proven scams. In this case, my opinion is I'm going to reserve my opinion until I see some further evidence that the entire border wall is actually going to be built and that everybody is putting in what they need to in terms of making sure they have the proper working equipment, making sure that they are building something that's going to last the test of time, and making sure that they're using actual architects, proper building permits, these types of things that could potentially have a wall taken down or could potentially have a wall fall down. As far as I know, none of these people are actually builders, and that is a big concern. Now, that's not to say that they're not working with builders. But again, this channel is about making people aware of the potential of a scam as well as it is making people aware of proven scams. And if I'm honest with you in every single turn, as I always am, then I'm doing my job. So to those of you sending nasty comments, you can keep sending them if you choose to. But please be aware that I will continue to do my job. I will continue to notify people and warn people of things that I see could potentially go awry. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I've dedicated myself to. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. There will be another video that's coming out this afternoon. I have some updates for you and some crazy comments. So I hope everybody, like I said, had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. I know it's always hard to get back to work the next day. Everybody take care. Please look in the description of this video and I will link all of the information with regards to this half a mile of wall that has gone up, and which includes the Washington Post, the Washington Times, and CNN, and a couple of others in addition. And I hope everybody has a great day. Bye-bye.